Hello, it's Rich Rosen, founder and CEO of Fastcall, and we're going to talk for a few minutes about interactive voiced response, or IVR. So we're logged into Fastcall and we're looking at the interactive voice response tab underneath call handling. And you'll see that we add new IVRs here, and I'll start by sort of going over the different types of IVRs that you're going to find, and we call these actions. You're starting with actions. Um, and you'll see that there is a call transfer, which is probably the most common, the menu, press one, press two, a directory of employees, the ability to play just a message, time-based routing, voicemail, and conditional routing. Um, I'll start with call transfer. It's the most, as I say, the most common. But I would say that when you're building your IVRs, you do want to do two things. You should start by writing an outline, so you have some basic idea of what you're trying to do with your IVR, and we can help you. We have a template that you can use to create your outline. And the second thing is that once you've created that outline, you're actually going to flip it upside down because you're going to create the IVRs in blocks, or as we say, in actions, but you're going to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. So you're going to um, record your prompts first. You're going to create your groups first. You're going to create your voicemail first. Because you're going to assign these sub actions as you're building your IVR. So when we go to assign a voicemail, it needs to be created. So we do often say we sort of start at the bottom and work your way up the top, which is another reason why it helps to have a written outline. So when we're in this IVR, and there's some similar settings in in many of these different actions, and we do say so we can give of course, the action name. There's the option for an introductory greeting. And then we have the scope. So the scope can be a group, which again you would create first. So it's a group of fast call users, could be a specific user, could be the record owner, or a specific phone number. Phone number would be, we're going to route the call to usually often a call center, or it could be a receptionist. So we're going to pick our scope. So let's say it's a group, and then we're going to pick the group here. Pretty straightforward. And then we have a strategy um, for the distribution. Ring rings multiple users at once, and there are some issues with Ring that we can discuss with you. Round robin queue is where we're going to keep the call on hold, play a greeting, and really gives the most functionality. So I'll sort of enable some of these. So round robin queue says we're going to go um, 3 times in a circle, ring each user for 15 times, 15 seconds. So there's the ability to give waiting audio, which can be very helpful. So please hold while we try to connect you. The ability to read the position in the queue. The waiting menu IVR allows the user to press 1 to leave a voicemail to get out of that waiting queue. Again, often that could be a transfer to another group, or voicemail, or transfer to a call center, right? So it's the ability to get out of that IVR. The no answer IVR is always required. The call path in an IVR, call path in general, needs to have an ending point. Often that's voicemail, but not always. But we call that the no answer IVR, which is, what do we do if there's no answer? And again, that's very often voicemail. And then there's some settings here as well. When a call is missed, you want to set an owner, and that owner could be the record owner. If we find it a queue or a user, this is a fast call, excuse me, a Salesforce queue. Um, some settings around sending notifications. So you can see here there's quite a few settings here, and they're all very robust. The ability to send missed call, email, and then some granular uh, settings here that will determine whether the email is sent for and if at any part during the IVR, somebody cancel out of this. So if I come in here and I want to pick another action, some of these are fairly straightforward, and we do have additional information on each individual setting. Let me talk about conditional routing, though I know we do have a separate email on this. Conditional routing is um, somewhat newer. So the conditional routing allows us to go into Salesforce and essentially take two paths. So when a related record is found, we're going to do this, and when a related record is not found, we're going to do that. Um, so for example, if the related record is found, um, you can add an object here, so I can say an account, and then I can pick the route. So that is conditional routing, which is uh, somewhat new. Of course, any type of all the lookup or conditional routing to a record owner, or just the lookup in general, really depends upon the phone number being passed by the caller. So if the caller is calling and a phone number is passed, and we can look that number up in Salesforce, then we can route from it. Sometimes the phone number is not passed. Sometimes it's a different phone, right? So if we have an office phone in Salesforce and the caller's on her mobile phone, and we don't have the mobile phone in Salesforce, we're not going to be able to look that up. So then once all the different actions are created, we will stitch those together. So again, things like voicemail and groups. The groups are created, the recorded messages are created here, the groups are created here, so I create groups, recorded messages, and those are the individual components that I'm going to use to build the IVR. I won't go into to detail about our call logging, but everything that happens on the IVR is logged. We have a separate learning section on our data model, but everything that happens on the call is logged. So if the call is transferred to multiple users, let's say in that IVR queue, each attempt to the user is logged as an attempt. Each transfer is logged. If there's any menu selections made, it's all logged in our data model, which again we do go over in a separate learning path. So hopefully this was helpful as just a general overview in terms of what we are able to do in our IVR options. Time-based routing is also very helpful. One of the advantages of time-based routing, of course, when a call comes in after hours, we can route directly to a voicemail or directly to a call center, but it also affects the call logging itself. There's a setting here that allows us to log a call that is in your after hours band as after hours, so it wouldn't log as missed. So that's one of the more helpful reasons to use time-based routing. So when a call does come in out of hours, it's not logged as a missed call. But it's pretty straightforward here. We're going to create a table. One last thing I'll say, and then I'll wrap up. You can email any follow-up questions to us. The IVRs are, you're not assigning your phone numbers here to the IVRs. You are within your phone number, you're assigning the IVR. So I have a phone number here. You'll see that we are assigning the phone number to the IVR here, not the other way around. So we're not assigning the phone to the IVR. We're assigning the IVR to the phone. So after the IVR is created, you would come in here and you would assign it to each phone number. The IVR components are reusable, so you can use the same voicemail. There's each of the IVR components are reusable, which is helpful. So you can use the same IVR for 10 phone numbers. You can use same voicemail. You can reuse the different IVR components, but you do have to assign each individual phone number. So if I was going to provision 10 phone numbers with the same IVR, I'd provision 10 phone numbers and set the IVRs here. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, send us an email, help@fastcall.com, and we will be more than happy to send you some additional information and answer any of your questions.